Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're doing something a bit different. We're stepping away from the usual sources, setting aside the modern world completely, actually.
Yeah, we're diving deep into just one story. A single, really sharp anecdote from Persian oral tradition. It's called The Tale of Karim Khan Zand and the Flatterer.
And this deep dive, well, it's kind of our shortcut, isn't it?
Mm.
A way for you, the listener, to get inside the head of this ruler who really defined his time.
Exactly. It's more than just a dramatic story, though. We're trying to pull out this core idea, this principle of ethical leadership from the Zand period.
Right. A really powerful lesson, actually, about why critical thinking, even brutal honesty, was valued more than just ego and, empty praise.
hmm And the main figure is Karim Khan Zand. He ruled Persia from Shiraz back in the mid-18th century.
Now, the crucial thing here, and we really need to stress this right away, is his title. He wasn't king.
No, he insisted on being called the People's Regent, the Vakil. And that detail, it's absolutely central to this whole story.
It really is. He actively pushed back against all the usual royal stuff,
Yeah.
the trappings of monarchy.
Yeah, you have to picture the scene inside his citadel, the Karim Khan citadel. The sources give us this really vivid image, simple mud brick
This is
walls.
contrasting with those beautiful, cool blue tiles.
Right, and you can almost hear the fountains in the courtyard. And there he is, the regent, often just dressed simply, sitting for hours, dawn till dusk.
Just listening to ordinary people, their problems.
He created this atmosphere of accessibility. He wanted the real stories, the genuine pleas of the oppressed, not some polished speech from a courtier.
So the question for us, I guess, is what kind of leader does that? What makes someone create such a vulnerable space? Okay, let's unpack this. What was the integrity he was fighting to protect by doing this?
Well, in a way, he was protecting reality itself. I mean, his rule came after this period of just massive chaos in Iran. And Karim Khan seemed to understand that the biggest threat, the most insidious one, wasn't necessarily war, it was self-delusion, especially for the person in charge.
Delusion and power.
Exactly. And the story says his heart beat for his people, which suggests he was genuinely compassionate, genuinely open to hearing about suffering.
But doesn't that openness become the very thing someone could exploit? A weak point a predator might look for.
Absolutely. And that brings us right to our antagonist.
Also not.
Enter Hassanak, described as, well, the definition of a sly flatterer. He's calculating and manipulative.
And he doesn't just walk in respectfully. He arrives in rags, playing a very specific part.
Oh, yeah, it's a performance. He immediately tries to grab attention with this fake, mournful face. The moment he sees Karim Khan, he just bursts into these loud, over-the-top sobs.
Tears streaming like a flood, apparently. Wailing like his life is ruined. It's like an emotional ambush in the court.
And Karim Khan reacts, well, exactly like Hassanak must have hoped he would. He doesn't just dismiss him.
Now, he shows that compassion we were talking about. Tells his servants, look after this man, give him water, give him bread. But hang on, was that initial kindness almost a mistake? I mean, did Karim Khan nearly fall into the trap? It suggests the flatterer's tactic was pretty effective.
Oh, it was effective. Because it directly tested Karim Khan's virtue, his compassion. The narrator points out Karim Khan didn't know these tears were a mask for greed.
Okay.
Hassanak knew the regent valued genuine suffering, so he presented the most extreme picture of suffering he could manage. The tension is right there from the start. Real kindness meets calculated deception.
So, Hassanak's been comforted, he's had something to eat, and now he stands before the regent, ready for the main act. And this isn't just asking for money, is it? It's something bigger.
Much bigger. It's a monumental claim, almost spiritual, and it's crafted brilliantly, really, because it targets the two things Karim Khan seemed most sensitive about, his family and his own legitimacy. Well, the core of the lie is about his supposedly blind mother living in darkness. Hassanak claims he was so desperate he crawled to the shrine of Karim Khan's deceased father, a man apparently called Abu al-Vakil.
Abu al-Vakil. Okay, and this is where the miracle part comes in.
Exactly. Hassanak spins this tale about falling asleep at the shrine, and in a dream, the father Abu al-Vakil appears, places his hand on Hassanak's blind eyes.
And heals him. Just like that.
He claims he woke up sight restored, a miracle performed by the spirit of the regent's own father.
Wow. That's some powerful propaganda right there. You can imagine the courtiers.
Oh, they eat it up, instantly moved, whispering, a miracle of Abu al-Vakil. They're suddenly seeing divine proof backing the Zand dynasty.
The tension must have been incredible. Karim Khan, who's known for this sharp, piercing gaze, just asks Hasanak, "So you were healed?" Simple question.
Just needs a simple yes. The Hasanak, he can't help himself. He pushes it too far. He overplays his hand.
Here's where it gets really interesting. What does he say?
He doesn't just confirm the lie. He adds the one title he knows Karim Khan hates. "Yes, O just king," he says, "your father's grace saved me. Now I come to serve you as your devoted follower."
Oh, king. That's the mistake.
That's the fatal flaw. Karim Khan was the regent, the vakil, servant of the people. Calling him king was basically trying to flatter him into becoming something unaccountable, untouchable, relying on praise, not truth.
It was an attempt to undermine his whole style of governing.
Precisely. You can imagine the silence in the court then. Just silence, and then Karim Khan gives that famous bitter smile.
And he doesn't debate. He doesn't argue. He just acts.
Immediately orders the executioner, bring the whip, bring the tools of punishment, and then the order, just blunt, terrifying, gouge out this man's eyes.
Whoa! Just like that.
The whole scene just erupts. Hasanak is obviously paralyzed with fear, but the Zand nobles, they're just as terrified. They fall to their knees, pleading with Karim Khan.
Why? Are they pleading for Hasanak, or are they scared of something else?
Well, they're worried. What if the story is true? What if blinding this man, healed by a supposed miracle, brings down divine anger on all of them?
So that raises a point. Were they genuinely worried about divine wrath, or just terrified of the regent's sudden kind of unpredictable justice?
Probably a mix, I think. But mostly fear. Fear of the unpredictable. You see, Karim Khan was testing them too.
Testing the court. How?
He wanted to see who'd choose the easy lie, the comforting idea of a miracle over the potentially painful truth, and he delivered that truth, that reality check, with maximum impact.
Right. He turns to Hasanak, and this is the moment. The declaration that just blows apart the whole story they were trying to build.
He shouts, "You son of a thief! My father," he declares publicly, while alive, was a horse thief in the Bedi Sork Pass.
Wow. He just admitted his father was a common criminal in front of everyone.
That's the mic drop, isn't it? But it's so much more than just drama. It's incredibly strategic. Why risk telling everyone your father was a horse thief?
Yeah, why undermine the very authority, this sort of divine hint the court was trying to give you?
Because it resets everything. He's making it crystal clear. His right to rule comes from him, from his actions, his justice, not from some inherited holiness or fake miracles.
He's instantly devaluing anyone who tries to play the flattery game, especially using his family.
Exactly. He's basically saying, look, if my father was just a common thief, then any miracle story you bring me, any praise you offer based on him, it's automatically suspect. It's worthless.
And he didn't even stop there, did he? He explained the shrine itself.
Right. He tells them, that shrine, Abu al-Vakil, that mausoleum, it was built by flatterers after I came to power just to suck up to me.
So the monument itself was a product of flattery, not piety.
A monument to sycophancy. And then comes the final, savage, ironic threat to Hasanak.
What was it again?
He shouts something like, "And now you come here claiming my horse thief father performs miracles. If these nobles weren't pleading for you, I'd gouge your eyes out twice. Then you could go back and ask him for another set."
A double gouging.
Yeah.
That's pure psychological terror. But he didn't actually do it, did he? What was the real punishment?
No, he pulled back from the blinding. The servants whipped Hasanak, yes, but his eyes were spared. The source makes a point of calling it a lesson without blinding.
So pain and humiliation, but not permanent mutilation based on a lie.
Right. Karim Khan wanted the lesson to stick, for Hasanak and for everyone watching. But the punishment wasn't purely vengeful. Hasanak, ashamed, limping, fled the citadel.
That says something important about Karim Khan's justice too, doesn't it? It seems designed to, well, reform, maybe. Not just punish. The goal wasn't just to stop the lie, but maybe teach the liar and the whole court a lesson about flattery.
Absolutely. And he drives that lesson home immediately, turning to the nobles who are still probably shaking. His statement to them is basically the core message of this whole deep dive.
What does he say?
He tells them flattery blinds a ruler and oppresses the people. I am your regent, remember regent, not the king of your praise.
That regent versus king distinction again, it's everything. He saw flattery not just as annoying, but as fundamentally dangerous, treason against the people almost.
Because it cuts the ruler off from reality. It stops them seeing genuine problems, genuine oppression. That's why this story has lasted. Karim Khan seemed to view flattery as a greater enemy than betrayal.
That's a strong statement. Greater than betrayal.
Think about it. Betrayal is usually open, something you can see and fight. Flattery. It's like a slow poison. It makes you incapable of seeing any threat clearly because you start believing your own hype. It isolates you.
And the story even gives us an epilogue, right? It shows his approach actually worked in the long run. Hassanat doesn't just disappear.
That's right. The tale adds that years later, Hassanat came back, a genuinely changed man, living honestly as a farmer. He'd learned the lesson.
Wow.
And the final irony, that shrine, Abu al-Vakil, the one built out of pure political flattery, apparently it eventually became known as a place associated with honesty, maybe because people remembered the brutal truth that was spoken there that day.
So the ruler's commitment to truth, backed by some pretty harsh justice, actually managed to reform the flatterer. Truth didn't just expose the lie, it changed the liar.
Which inevitably brings us around to today. That court, prioritizing painful reality over easy, comforting lies. Well, that struggle hasn't exactly gone away, has it?
Not at all. When you look at our world now, carefully curated images, endless social media praise, networking that often feels like mutual affirmation, this old story feels surprisingly relevant.
It really does. So what does this all mean for us?
Yeah, what's the takeaway?
Well, it means that even if you don't have a horse thief father to confess about, the pressure to surround yourself only with people who tell you what you want to hear, who affirm everything, that pressure is huge. Karim Khan fought hard against becoming that comfortable, just king. And maybe we need to ask ourselves, are we letting flatterers build little shrines around our own egos, even small ones?
That's a challenging thought.
Yeah.
Standing there, maybe at sunset in the Karim Khan Citadel in our minds, where a story says his justice endured.
Indeed. So we'll leave you with the question the original storytellers posed centuries ago. It gets right to the heart of navigating power, big or small. Is flattery always wrong? Or is it sometimes, necessary, a tool for survival?
What would you do if you were suddenly in Karim Khan's court that day? Would you risk the truth or would you flatter?
Something to think about. Until our next deep dive,